Hello sports fans and welcome to Cary. It's time for the Division II College World Series. I'm here joined by East Stroudsburg University's coach John Kamansky and pitcher Ryan DeWeese. Coach Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
First question for you, Coach.
Sure.
For the first time ever, East Stroudsburg is here in Cary at the Division II Championship. What is it like to hear those words?
It's surreal, really. It's something we've kind of felt like for the last 4 years. We've been knocking on the door to get here, and we started our season here on the first weekend and second weekend in February, and we talked about finishing here, and we made it happen.
That's awesome. All right, Ryan, let's go to a game situation. I know you weren't at bat, but surely you had some feelings in your last game when the count's 3-2, 2 outs, 11th inning. What was going through your head at the end of that at bat that sent you all here?
I just know, it couldn't be any more picture perfect. We have Dennis Pierce at the plate, the guy who's been our big power guy all year. You couldn't write a better script for that game. Just him 3-2 count and just hearing the bat hit the ball and just know, like the second he hit it, just knowing it's over the fence, knowing he just put us up 4, and just knowing our pitcher's going to go out, get 3 outs, and we're going to go to Cary. It was awesome.
Now, there are going to be so many new eyes on the program this week. How would you describe the style of play for East Stroudsburg to someone who's never seen this team before?
I would say, obviously we pitched on the mound. Defense is unbelievable. As a pitcher, I can't speak more highly of our defense. Just knowing guys behind us are just out there. They're going to make the plays no matter where it is. And then just offensively, just putting up runs, grinding out at-bats. It's awesome.
Okay, Coach, back to you.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about some of your team's leaders, not necessarily just statistically,
Right.
but who are the people who really have kept this team moving and gotten you here this year?
Well, for starters, the guy sitting right next to me, Ryan, he's not the most vocal guy, but he leads by example, and that's pretty important. Shanley Wall, Jack Rothenhauser, big part of what we do offensively and keeping our guys focused. As we've gotten through, it's not just the captains. We've got some older guys that, Walker Zampella, our second baseman, has been phenomenal with it, and our catching, with Connor Riley. So we've got a lot of leaders on this team, but we have a really good mix of old and young. So as the young guys learn from the older guys, then it'll be their turn to lead.
Another question for you, Coach. There are 5 teams this year that are here in Cary that this is their first time ever making it this far.
Sure.
Does this year's teams makeup in D2 feel a little more, is there more parity?
Yeah, I think so, and there's certainly a lot of reasons for that. I think travel ball and specialization with baseball has certainly made our sport. There's a lot more talent to be spread around, but the other piece is the portal. That I refer to as the necessary evil in our sport, and we'll continue to build our program with high school seniors, but we certainly fill holes with the portal, and I think that those are the pretty much, in my opinion, the reason for the parity, and I think you're going to continue to see teams make it here for the first time, moving forward.
It's great to see. As someone who lives in the area, we get to see all sorts of great baseball here.
Sure, and we're hoping that we can provide some moments for some people here, and as we play tomorrow and then again on Sunday.
Awesome. Ryan, last question goes to you. I hear there's a catchphrase that's been floating around, a theme for the year for the team. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's 503. That's just been our motto all year. That's how far away our home field is from this complex here in Cary, and that's just kind of the mindset we always remind ourselves when we go to lift. When we wake up early in the morning, it's always 503. Just remembering the end goal in sight and just constantly trying to get ourselves here, better ourselves, to make sure we get to this moment, and we did it.
Thank you very much, Coach. Ryan, appreciate your time, and thank you for joining us. Yeah. And fans, you can catch them in our first game here at Cary on Friday at 1:30 p.m. right here against Lenoir-Rhyne. Back to Cary, I'm here with the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears coach Adam Skonecki and Owen Blackledge, senior outfielder. Coach, this is your first appearance in Cary. What is it like? What does it mean to you to feel that for the first time for this team?
Oh, it's great. It's awesome. It's all about the guys and the work and the preparation that they've put in for this season. And it's been on our bucket list since we got our first meeting in August. We were talking about winning games, winning championships, winning the SAC, and then winning a regional, and then getting to Cary. That was one of our goals. And finally, our last goal would be to win the whole thing. So we hope to put on a good show here the next few days and show out and play really well. So we're just excited to be here, but we're going to play really hard these next few days and see where it takes us.
Awesome. Owen, you're one of many transfers on this team. How has this team gelled together so well?
Yeah, it's been actually kind of surprising. We all kind of came from different places. I know I came from TCU 2 years ago, and then this year I think we had 20-some transfers, but it kind of happened like that where first 2 weeks you're still kind of learning everyone's names and still trying to get used to it, but when you're with the team every single day for however many, 8-9 months, you get close pretty quick. And then stuff like morning weights when we all didn't really want to be there, but we all knew we had to be there. It's just like it gels the team together really quick, and then we all have great personalities on the team that really get together and get along really well.
Now, speaking of weights, when you look at the stats, the thing that jumps out is the power hitting for this team. How have you all been able to keep that energy, keep that rhythm up, and how do you expect to keep it going here this week?
I would say just kind of simplifying the game, just knowing that we all are strong dudes and knowing that if we barrel something up, it's going to go a long way, but when you try to hit home runs, it won't work. So especially here at a big park, just try to stay on the line and hit doubles, and if we catch it out in front a little bit more, then it'll fly a little bit.
Now, Coach, talk a little bit about the importance of your assistant coaches and how they have helped you all get here to Cary this year.
Oh, shoot. I mean, they play such a pivotal role in what we do. And I feel like I've said this a million times in these interviews, but I feel like all I do right now is write the lineup out, because these guys are doing the scouting reports, they're breaking down the pitchers, they're doing all the little things, getting our guys prepared for the game. And Coach Baumfeld does an outstanding job with the pitchers, with Coach Allen, and then Coach Hodge does a really good job with the hitting scouting reports, and Coach Bean and Coach Coleman do a great job as well. And I'm fortunate to have the help that I do, and those guys really make this program tick and make this thing run. So it's been a blessing that those guys are in our program.
Now, being from North Carolina, you're effectively the home state team here. What can you tell us about the Lenoir-Rhyne community there in Hickory?
Oh man, I can't say enough about these guys. They travel really well. I always joke that there's no pro sports team in Hickory, so it's the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. And I told our guys from day one, this is a home series for us. It's 160 miles away from home, and we're going to travel well. There's going to be a lot of red and black in the stands this week, and I know the Lenoir-Rhyne faithful is really looking forward to Friday night.
Awesome. Last question goes to you, Owen. I hear there's a favorite quote from Coach that keeps you motivated when you're at the plate. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it kind of goes into the baseball. You can only control hitting the ball hard, but if you line something out or line out to the center fielder, fly out about 399 feet and it's still out, he'll always, hey, good swing, but you're still out. Good swing, still out. And so it kind of reminds us like, hey, I know we like hitting balls hard, but it's all about getting on base, kind of just playing the game.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is Coach Adam Skonecki, Owen Blackledge as well. You can catch them in their first game on 1:30 on field number 1 here on Friday against East Stroudsburg. Hello and welcome back to Cary. I'm Cole Conley alongside Central Missouri head coach Kyle Crooks, and over here third baseman senior Jacob Steele. Coach, Jacob, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
First question for you. This is your second year here in Cary as a top 2 seed. What's it going to be like to have that experience on your team that a lot of these teams, 5 specifically, have never been to Cary before?
I didn't know that. I'm sure, probably more so for the players than anything, I would think there's some familiarity. I don't know. We really haven't talked about it, but it's a place you always want to be. I imagine, without putting words in their mouth, that it's something that they've seen, visualized, and certainly having been here before, I guess the schedule may be familiar, and the field and the environment doing this. So I'm guessing that helps to some degree or another. And but ultimately everything gets decided on the field. So anything can happen in baseball, and all the teams that are here are good. So I'm not sure how it's just great to be back, to be honest. So for me, it's just a great place to be, and it's an end goal every year. We like to be here, so we'll, hopefully it plays to our advantage. We'll see.
Absolutely. Jacob, anything to add from a player perspective?
Yeah, I would just say, we all know that last year was not, what we wanted in terms of results, but we're back. The group of seniors that we have, we decided, if we're going to do it one last time, we better do it right. So that's all I have to add.
Speak a little bit more about that. You have senior leadership that's been here before. How have you specifically embodied a little extra motivation this year to get back?
Yeah, I know that our time as a mule is running short, and I know that's sad to say right now, but might as well go out with the biggest bang that we can. The biggest thing for us is the leadership gets passed down, so what we're trying to do is create a standard for everybody that gets to see what we do and then continue to do it.
And have you seen a change in the team over the beginning of the season to now?
I wouldn't say necessarily a change. I mean, I feel like the work ethic has always been there. The compete within the group has always been there. I would say maybe in terms of results, yes. Crooksy had an interview after we won the Super Regional. It was like, if you were honest with ourselves, we probably didn't think we were going to be here at the beginning of the year. But I would say in terms of the inner core of the group, I wouldn't say anything has changed between us.
Coach, how would you compare the strengths of this year's team to last year's?
I mean, every team is different, I think, and it's like one player can change the entire makeup of a group. And certainly we lost a lot of guys that graduated or moved on last year to other things, and so that changes the dynamic. And these guys that were here last year had a task in front of them of trying to assimilate everybody that is new and take a different group of people and making it the best version of what they can be. I think that to me is the most impressive part about what this year's group did is we do have, I think, a lot of seniors by comparison in terms of numbers, but I also think we have a ton of new players, just a really turned over roster, and these guys, to their credit, didn't really let that deter them. And as he mentioned in one of my former previous interviews, in terms of the job that they did getting everybody on page and acclimating everybody to how we do things and what we do and our verbiage and certain standards, this group of guys has done a tremendous job of passing those things on, I think, and getting the new players' feet underneath them, so to speak, in our uniform throughout the course of the season. And so different, on the field, sure, but I think overall, this is a very good baseball team in a Mules uniform, and they have their own personality and their own way of doing things, but I don't think anything's diametrically different,
Thanks, Coach. Last question goes to you, Jacob, and it's a very important one. Where do you stand on this hot Dr. Pepper issue that's been going through the team?
I personally really enjoy it. Our coach, Chris Schnurbush, introduced it to us this year. It's more of like a cold time drink, so early March in Missouri is not pleasant to play baseball in sometimes. So I would say having a hot Dr. Pepper then, when everyone's starting to get a little bit sick, cold season, flu season, I would say that was probably the best time for it. But really all it is just Dr. Pepper, put in the coffee pot, heat it up, and it just, I don't know, you should give it a try.
Well, I firmly disagree with that statement. It's awful.
Thank you, Jacob, for your incorrect opinion.
Yeah.
And we'll move right on. But anyway, we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking the time to answer some questions for us today. Best of luck to you, Jacob, and to you, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And fans, if you're watching at home, you can catch the first game for Central Missouri at 6 p.m. on Friday against Northwood. Welcome back, everyone, to Cary. I'm Cole Conley alongside the Northwood Timberwolves, Coach Brad Baldwin, and Miles Beal over here to his left, our senior outfielder. Welcome to Cary.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
First question for you, Coach. Your team's been very good for a very long time. 8 straight years with NCAA tournament appearances, but this is the first time making it this far to Cary. What does it feel like to you to finally reach this stage?
Yeah, it's surreal, to say the least. I mean, You know, to me, this has been years in the making, having been a part of the program for the past 6 years now. And then before that, you know, the program was obviously very successful before I showed up as an assistant. So it's been years in the making. A lot of time, a lot of work by a lot of different people have gone into this up until this point. But, you know, this group's an extremely special group. Blessed to just be a part of their everyday lives, to say the least. And, you know, for the first time in program history, it's, you know, feelings and emotions, everything is all still kind of settling in. I'm not sure it's quite hit me or these guys just yet, but maybe it will tomorrow night when we take the field for the first time. So it's an unbelievable accomplishment. These guys have a ton to be proud of, and this is obviously something that they're going to be able to look back on for many, many years to come and be thrilled with what they were able to accomplish.
Oh, it's a huge accomplishment. Miles, how about from a player perspective? You've been in the tournament for all 4 years of your career. What has it been like to finally break through to this level?
It's a great feeling. I mean, honestly, I still can't really even believe it. Like he said, it hasn't really even set in for a lot of us yet. But we knew we could do it, and I mean, honestly, we're all just super grateful to be here today.
Now, as a senior on the team, you've been with Coach Baldwin from the beginning when he was an assistant, now as the head coach. What has he meant to you personally and as a player to see that transition?
It's meant a lot. I mean, when we were going through the process of hiring a new coach, he was honestly my front runner for the guy that I wanted to be there. I was super happy when I heard he got hired, and I mean, you can tell he's grown a tremendous amount in the past couple of years just from day one to where he's at now.
Coach, I know at the end of last season, you lost 9 really big contributors to the team. On paper, from an outsider's perspective, that looks like it's going to be a rebuilding season. It didn't turn out that way. Did it seem that way to you from the beginning, or was there a transition throughout the year? What was it like?
Well, I think just going into this season, we knew we were going to just have a different look, a different group. You know, especially from the offensive side of the ball. We're not a team that's going to thump it around and hit balls out of the yard like we have a little bit in the past. So we just knew it was going to be different from that standpoint. But I tell you what, I mean, day one of practice in the fall, I had a feeling that this was a little bit of a different group just from a mentality standpoint. I think that kind of says it all. Like, outsiders' perspectives, if there's a group that doesn't necessarily like to think or you know, take into stake what other people think, it's this group right now, and that says a lot about them from just a group standpoint, from a mentality standpoint. Like Miles said, like they thought and they believed it from day one of the fall. So I think that's, you know, why we were able to accomplish some of the things that we have throughout the course of this year, and you know, very fortunately find ourselves here in Cary in the World Series. So a lot of credit to these guys, man. They do all the work. They've put the time and the effort in, and they're just a little bit different mentally this year, and I think we're seeing the benefits of that.
For a lot of fans, this will be the first time that they'll see Northwood play baseball. Is there anything else you want new people to watching your team to know about your team?
Well, I think, you know, what we take a lot of pride in, and what, you know, Miles can attest to, is I just want our guys to play the game the right way. I'm a younger guy, but kind of an old school mentality. Like, we preach the little things. We want to run hard. We want to play the game as hard-nosed as we possibly can. You know, running the bases hard, getting ahead in counts, just playing, you know, diving, laying out, getting our uniforms dirty. And just making it a nightmare for our opponents, hopefully, and just trying to put as much pressure on them as we possibly can. But hopefully they see, you know, that type of brand of baseball, but also a group of guys that know what it's like to represent what's on the front of their chest in Northwood University, and that it's a group that has each other's backs. They really play for the guy standing next to them, and they care a lot about each other's success more than their own individual. So that's always my goal each day we take the field, and I think these guys have done a really tremendous job of that throughout the course of the season so far.
That's awesome. Last question goes to you, Miles. You were telling me that there are more than a few quirks that this team has. What's your favorite one?
My favorite one? Probably, I have to say Logan Voth and his ice cream. I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he gets ice cream before every single game. I don't know how he's not honestly sick of it yet, but he makes it work.
Any special flavor or brand or anything we need to make sure is available here?
He actually tries to switch it up a little bit, but not that I know of, but yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Smile. Thanks, Coach. We really appreciate y'all taking the time to speak with us today, and best of luck in the tournament.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And fans, you can catch Northwood in their first game at 6 p.m. on Friday against Central Missouri. Welcome, everybody. We're here in Cary with Northwest Nazarene Coach Joe Schaefer and senior two-way player Cole Calnon. Welcome.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Good to be here.
First question for you, Coach. 5 of the teams here in Cary this week have never been here before. Northwest Nazarene was here in 2021, I believe, which makes you the 3rd most experienced coach here. What kind of impact do you think that's going to have on the play on the field?
I don't know how much of an impact it'll have on these guys. I think it's helping with myself in terms of nerves and planning and organization more than anything. Preparation, kind of knowing what to expect in terms of the schedule for the week and the weather and all that stuff. So been doing my best to prepare these guys for the last few days for what to expect. But I still remember the first time coming here and just the experience and whatnot, and it's almost impossible to prepare them for their first time.
Cole, you all won your trip to Cary in front of your home fans on your own field. What was that like? What was that experience like when the final out happened?
It was a little delayed. I think after we scored the 4 in the 9th, I started smiling and getting ready for the celebration. Took a little longer than expected, but the whole weekend I felt like we had 800 people behind us playing, so it was a lot of fun to have that many people come out and support, and to play the way we did. It was pretty awesome.
Now, you've started every single game this year for NNU. 14 of them on the mound, the rest of them at shortstop. How have you been able to balance the field, pitching, hitting, all of that so well this year?
I think a lot of my arm care work is off the field, and then when I do my ground balls, like I don't throw bullpens or anything during the year. So I think I've been in college. This is my 6th year in college, and I've been a two-way the whole time. So I kind of know what my body needs at this point and how to manage the workload. So I think just listening to my body, not pushing myself, and allowing myself to recover.
Coach, between Cole here and Ernesto, you have 2 pitchers who have gone 26-0 this year. What's it like to have that kind of 1-2 punch, that consistency on the mound that you can count on?
It's special. I think most teams are pretty excited if they have one of those guys. For us to have 2 of them, that's a large part of why we're here right now. I think there's just a different energy and a different kind of confidence when they're on the mound, and when you play a 4-game weekend knowing that you have half your series covered with 2 guys that everybody expects to go out and win, it kind of makes things a little easier, and rarely are you playing more than 4 games in a week. So it's special. It's definitely special.
Now, for all the fans who haven't seen the Nighthawks play before, how would you describe your style of play?
Well, I tell people I'm not sure we do anything better than anybody else, but we do everything really, really well. Offensively, we're kind of a fast-paced offense. We need base runners, and we try and cause chaos. We like motion. We're aggressive on the bases, and we're kind of a scrappy offense. I think there's some power up and down our lineup, but that's not our MO. Like we're just trying to put balls in play. We're trying to get guys moving and force the defense to play catch at a high level. And on the mound, we just pound the strike zone. Like we're just built around pumping strikes and letting the defense play behind them, which means we typically can play some fast games, but they're fun and they're exciting games.
Excellent. Last question goes to you, Cole. I hear there's a special tradition that you all have when you win. What can you tell us about that?
We had a little celebration song that we would play in the clubhouse after a win, and then about middle of the season we got the staff up in the booth to start playing our songs after we win, and now all the fans started singing it. And I've seen the videos from the parents and the relatives and you can hear the parents and them singing in the background. So
who's the artist?
I couldn't even tell you.
We don't even know.
It's like a radio remix of some old song from the 70s called Hey Baby.
Awesome. That's exactly the kind of cork that we were looking for.
Yeah.
Cole, thank you for your time, Coach, for being with us today.
Thank you.
We wish you
Absolutely.
both best of luck this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And fans, for you all sitting at home, you can catch the action for Northwest Nazarene, their first game at 1:30 on Saturday against UT Tyler. We're back here in Cary. Today I'm with UT Tyler head coach Brent Porch and pitcher Raleigh Hector. Coach, Raleigh, welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Excellent. First question goes to you, Coach.
Okay.
How does it feel to break through your first ever trip to Cary, just winning that South Central Regional?
Yeah, one of the toughest regions in the country. Angelo State, who's been here several times. I think three of the last, out of the last 3 years in a row, and won a national championship. And so, tough league and a tough region to break through. And we had to go to their place and do it in front of a tough crowd. And so, it's really exciting. Obviously, everybody wants to be here when we start the season. And we've been talking about it since we've made the transition to Division II. 2022 is our first season, postseason eligibility, and we're able to get it done by 25, and not done yet. So just excited to be here. Excited for all the people that it takes to get here. It's more than just the people that are standing here with us today, but so many that have come before us, that have put in a lot of time and work and effort, and just a lot of support in our community and at our university to give us an opportunity to get here today.
Excellent. Now, Raleigh, if I'm right, you've been here before as
sir.
a member of a national team for USA Baseball. How has that experience helped you grow as a baseball player and as a person over the last few years?
Absolutely. Just been really fortunate to go play across the country. It's been really cool, and across the world for that matter. So I'm just really excited to get back here. It's a really full circle moment for me, and I'm just really excited that I get to share this experience with my boys and really go out there and go win a national championship.
And what was it like in that regional that your coach talked about? You're on the road, you're in a hostile environment against a team that might as well buy apartments here in Cary, it seems like, but you go in there, you get it done. What's it like?
It was awesome. We had a lot of belief in ourselves and a belief in our coaching staff, and we're just really excited to go out there and go compete in a hostile environment. It's really going to prepare us for what it's going to be like out here in Cary. But just really proud of our guys and all the trust and all the work that we've put in. It's really paying off, and we just, like we've been saying all season long, we're not finished yet, and we just want to keep playing because this is a really special group of guys, and we've had a lot of fun so far.
Now, Coach, you were talking about the transition to D2. It happened a few years ago. In 2018, you were a national champion at the D3 level, which means, other than Joe Urso at Tampa, you're the only coach here with a national championship. What was that whole experience like?
Very different than this one, to be honest. That season, we kind of struggled. It was my second year at UT Tyler. It was our last year to compete in Division III. We knew we were starting the transition process. And, we had some guys that we expected big things out of that, weren't very good for most of the year. And then we had a bunch of guys that were new guys that really had kind of carried us. But we had kind of struggled our way through the year and really started playing good baseball at the end. And, that's one of those teams that you hear about, getting hot at the right time. I mean, that is the 2018 team to a T. So, we lost in the first round of our conference tournament. It's a national bid process in Division III, and so we were the last team to get into the postseason by at-large bid. We had actually sent all of our players home. And so, we had 4 of them in New York City the night that we found out we were going into the postseason. But, we used to talk about it all the time. It's like you can make a 30 for 30 out of it. So we had guys getting back, the day before we left. We got them all back together, passed all the stuff back out, practiced once, got on the road. And then we were gone for 16 days, never came home from our regional because it got pushed because of rain. Flew straight out to Appleton, Wisconsin for the national championship. We actually had to take the bus to a laundromat because nobody had enough clothes to get through 16 days because we thought we were only going to be gone for a week, and just went on a run. So it was a good time. Was a really big piece of getting here today because going into that transition, recruiting and stuff can be difficult, and so winning a national championship definitely helped us kind of get through that transition process and kind of springboarded us to where we are.
Just a couple minutes and it's already an incredible story, so I can't wait to hear the rest of that. Raleigh, obviously you were not part of that 2018 team, but you do have an idea of how that has helped build the program a little bit, and now you have an even better idea of how your team has been preparing recently over the last few weeks for their run in the tournament. How do you all keep your head on straight, stay focused throughout this week?
Absolutely. The only thing that matters is the next thing. Whatever happens in the past, it's just if you just flush it and go wherever we got to go next. So just being really present, being where our feet are, trusting our preparation is just how we've kept going throughout this run. And just really excited that we get to go do it on a national stage and go compete against somebody that we don't know, they don't know us. So we're really excited about where we are and just focus on the next thing, the next pitch, the next at bat. So not really taking anything to the field with us, just being really present and being where our feet are.
Okay, last question. It goes to you, Raleigh. You said something about good directions over here when we were walking up. What's that about?
Yeah, Coach Porsche has a great saying for us pitchers that anytime that we're kind of getting out of whack, I feel like anything that's going wrong possibly, the first thing that usually gets brought up from Coach Porsche is just, hey, good direction. So it just kind of keeps us centered, making sure we're bringing our direction towards the plate and not flailing off the mound. So we always like to give them a hard time because it feels like it's like every other inning we're hearing good direction from the dugout. So it's been a really fun story to be playing around with, and I think the best part was we had a senior banquet, and we got to tell all the guys that, hey, we got to incorporate good direction somewhere in there in our speech toward our family and all the coaches and all the players that were there, and we successfully did that, and he caught on. So ever since then, he's been really making sure we hear good direction from the dugout. So it's been a good little story.
I was about to say I'll keep my ear out for it, but it sounds like I really won't need to.
No, you won't have to. It's pretty obvious.
Excellent. Well, guys, thank you so much, Raleigh, Coach Porsche, for being with us today. Best of luck in the week.
All right,
sir.
thank you, guys.
Go Pats.
Fans, you can catch the Patriots on Saturday in the first game at 1:30 against Northwest Nazarene. Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to Cary. I'm here with Tampa head coach Joe Urso and JD Urso, infielder. Now, Coach, first question goes to you. Thanks for spending the time with us today. You're obviously the defending champs. You've been here before. You lost a ton of production last year, but you're still back here. What has this season been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a challenge early on. A lot of returners were missing their buddies from last year. A lot of studs, as we know. Losing Cumbo, Gates, Nunez, the list goes on. But we brought in 19 new guys, and it was about the returners taking those new guys, becoming a family, and trying to chase this dream of another championship. And just the leadership I couldn't be more proud of.
Now, JD, your team was really tested in the regional. Unlike sometimes we've seen in the past, you needed 3 wins coming out of the losers bracket there. What was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely an uncomfortable feeling waking up in the morning not knowing if it could be my last day ever playing baseball. But the great thing with this group is, on senior day we had 22 guys walk, and there's 22 guys that are in the same category of, waking up in the morning and taking every day not for granted, knowing that every time we get to put our cleats on, it's a gift that we might not be able to do too many more times. So, going down 8-1, there wasn't much of a, we got next year. It was, we got to figure this out right now. And that's what we did. We got together. We had a little bit of a motivational talk around the 5th inning and kind of changed gears, found a way to make it out of there. And, I think ever since we've had a little bit of a chip on our shoulder and a little bit more of a resilient group now.
You were talking about your experience as a senior, how there were so many. Mm-hmm. How have you seen the team grow over the course of this year?
Yeah, being a 6th-year senior, and not only that, but to be able to watch, 22 plus years of Tampa Spartan baseball, you start to kind of understand that the regular season is very important because that's 50 games that you find your identity, you figure out, what is our formula to win this game. But, being here for this long, I know the season really starts game 51. And, you play those 50 games hoping that you react well when you get tested in that playoffs, but you never really know until you're actually there. So for me, we played 50 games of, I think we ended up winning 44 of those 50 games. A great regular season, but it was all about what we were going to do when those lights turn on in those playoffs. I couldn't be more proud of the group where we are right now. Every single one of us, we're like brothers. We fight like brothers. We love like brothers. And, just excited to be here with this group and to see what we can achieve this week.
Now, Coach, back to you. This year you hit 300 straight weeks in the top 25. The whole year you were in the top 3. You've played with the target on your back the entire year, and obviously that's not changing here. How have you prepared your players for this moment?
Yeah, when we recruit them, this is what we talk about. Whether we're the defending champs or not, you're Tampa, and everyone's gunning for you, and target's going to be on your back every year. And so they're used to it. They're used to me talking about it, and we talk about this moment a lot, and just excited that we get to bring this group back here. Down to the final 8 now, and it's going to be a tough week. 2 out of 3 at the end, so a little bit different for us on how we're going to manage, but just real proud of the guys and the way they've stuck together and the way they've accepted all the new players and created a family all over again.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was looking back through some history for you all, and it looks like you once beat the Philadelphia Phillies. Will they not schedule you anymore, or what happened?
It has been tough for to get on their schedule since then. But we hit a grand slam to beat them. I think it was only the 5th time a college team had done that. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we get to play them again, because what a treat. All these guys, their dreams playing the big leagues, and the Phillies treated us first class that day.
Yeah.
Now, another question back to you, JD. The elephant in the room, what is it like playing as a 6-year senior for your dad here in Cary?
Yeah, it truly is amazing. It's a dream come true every day. I don't know if he feels the same, because he's the one that has to deal with all the late night phone calls, the questions, the concerns. But, it's really what I asked for. It was my dream from day one. And, going through high school, it wasn't always looking like this was going to be the path that I was going to take. But I always knew it was the one that I wanted to go down. And so to actually be here and to be able to compete with them, it's awesome. There's days that it's tough being the coach's son, but 90% of the time it is just, it's a gift from God. And I know that my grandparents are looking down proud of us every day.
Last question goes back to you, JD. Are there any fun quirks or funny stories about the team that you'd like to share today?
There's definitely a lot. I think most of the college baseball world is familiar with the game Mafia that is played on the bus. This team and the team last year, I've definitely leaned into it quite a bit. So you'll definitely hear some Mafia references, some "we need yous." This team, we started to really gather behind this saying, which obviously in sign language is "I love you." But for us, what this means is we're riding with you. We're behind you. We got you no matter what. And so you'll definitely see some of that in the dugout this weekend. And this group's really just about being together. We talk about it all the time. The closer we are, the better we feel like our odds are of scoring more runs than the other team.
Awesome. Well, thank you, JD. Thank you, Coach, for being with us today, sharing your thoughts, and we wish you the best of luck here this week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And fans, you can catch Tampa in their first game on Saturday at 6 p.m. against Felician. Hello, everybody. I'm Cole Conley, and we're back here at Cary with Felician head coach Chris Langan and Jackson Wall. Fellas, welcome.
Thank you. Love to be here. Glad to be here.
Speaking of which, you're one of 5 teams. This is your first trip to Cary.
It is.
What is it like to hit that milestone as a program?
For me, it's been surreal. 22 years of doing this, and to have this opportunity to be at this facility is just, I'm still on cloud 9. It's been amazing. A lot of outreach, a lot of support. Really been awesome.
How about from a player's perspective, Jackson?
For me, it's been a lot of fun playing with the team, so we just get to play more games together, and that's really all you can ask for, just play as long as possible. So we're having a great time, having fun, and just enjoying what we do each and every day.
Now, take us through the last game that you all played, the Super Regionals. It's a tie game, game 3, everything's on the line here, and you're at bat. What happened? Tell us the whole story.
I was just trying to hit a low line drive the other way. I knew he was probably going to come at me with a fastball, and I like to hit the ball the other way, so I was trying to hit the ball the other way. Credit to my teammates, Logan kept us in the game, Gilly shut it down, Scriv with the grand slam to put us in that position. I was just trying to hit a ball hard, and I knew my teammates behind me would have done the job, but luckily I got it in the air enough to get over the fence. So just happy, we could get the job done and get here.
What was the reaction from your teammates when that happened?
Everyone was definitely pretty excited. I mean, it was a surreal moment. Felt like a fever dream almost, but it was just exciting. Everyone was fired up. We're just so happy to be here and to have made it this far, but not done yet.
Coach, you've been with this team for a while now. How is this team different from some of the other ones that you've coached in the past?
I would say they're super resilient. Just in a number of games in the last 2-3 weeks, we've been down. and just never out. You know, we've had to overcome like an 8-run deficit. These guys just battle. They'll fight for every every inch and every last out. So I'd say the resiliency is really probably what stands out the most.
Can you describe the team's mindset and energy over the last, say, week to two as you're preparing for this?
I think they started to believe in themselves. You know, I think their energy has been great. They've really come together as a team, and I think they really do believe that they're ready and they're prepared to make a really strong run. And here we are.
Now, Jackson, how do you keep yourself and your teammates engaged and motivated and focused during such a high-stakes postseason run as a leader of this team?
I think we just look to have fun, and I think that starts with the coaching staff. I think they've created a good environment where it's like, we're here playing a game. We're just looking to have fun. I think I try to remind the guys what, coach and the rest of the staff has built, that we're just here to have fun, and we don't try to put too much pressure on ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it's just a game. So I think we've just kept that mindset that whether it's a fall scrimmage or the super regionals, it's the same baseball game. So I think we just try to keep that same mindset.
And Coach, for those of us who have not seen Felician play this year, how would you describe your style of play and the strengths of the team, maybe?
I mean, I think our strength's definitely on the mound, but offensively, our guys are going to battle. They don't strike out. They put a lot of balls in play, and again, we have that flair for getting the big hit in the big spot. So, I think they're an exciting group.
Awesome. Last question goes to you, Jackson. If your coach was a cartoon character, who would he be?
Cartoon character. I have to go back. I haven't watched cartoons in some years. Who's I don't know. I guess. I don't know. I guess Mr. Krabs. You're running the ship. I guess we're the Krusty Krab. We're working for you, right? So I mean, that's first cartoon character off the top of my head. But I'd give him more credit than just a cartoon character, for the record.
I love it though.
It's good stuff.
All right. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Coach, for being with us today, filling us in, and we wish you the best of luck. And some Krabby Patties as well, perhaps.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Fans, you can check out Felician in their first game on Saturday at 6 p.m. against the defending champions, Tampa.